again, everyone, and welcome to another season of Detroit Lions football. Today, live from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it's the season opener between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis. Yeah, you're right. It's sold out. Right to the roof, right to the bag. 63,000 plus to see these great old rivals. I'm Tom Brookshire. With me, the former Super Bowl coach with the Eagles and a great analyst, Dick Vermeil. Dick, Darryl Rogers' second year at the helm. They don't play well on the road. At least they didn't last year, but they beat some darn good teams in getting that 7-9 record, didn't they? The numbers on Kramer. A lot of interceptions, the most in the NFL, 26. Third down and 11. The shotgun comes out for the Vikings. Good defensive play by the linebacker Harrell, that last one. He's got time to throw it. He's got a receiver, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line of Detroit. That's Bruce McNorton, who stayed under and came in and made the INT. Second down, 4. Jones. Oh, he breaks off. Look out. Jones at the 20 to the 13-yard line. Here we are. The Lions trying to get on the board for their first score of 1986. Second down and goal. From the 2. Jones scored. Touchdown. And it shouldn't have been by anybody else. Jones has 96 yards before this carry.
Jones rushed for a personal best 174 yards in the Lions' first close encounter, a 13-10 win, and he was named the NFL's Offensive Player of the Week. In a Week 11 matchup in Philadelphia, the Lions arrived with a 4-game losing streak.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Vet Stadium. It is not sold out. That's unusual in Philadelphia, but the Eagles are 3-7 under Coach Buddy Ryan. So the Detroit Lions are also 3-7. Now, Randall Cunningham will get his start, the first of this year, his 5th start overall. He's a second-year quarterback, a very fine runner, very fleet. He's been sacked a lot, too. First and 10. The Eagles move the sticks that time. The ball is right on the 40-yard line.
Look at outside left there. Look at all the room he's got on that outside left side. Whoop!
Quick sack, and the flags are down. William Gay came through very quickly. In fact, Cunningham didn't even get the arm back. Third down and 10. Lions deep in their own territory on the 7. Ferguson's going for a wide open. Chadwick catches this one at the 40. Being hemmed in now. And Chadwick gets all the way to the 29-yard line. Ferguson is 0 for 4 and has had a couple that should have been one caught and one was called back, but he has -2 in yardage for Detroit so far today. First and 10. On the straight pattern, Chadwick is open. Chadwick behind Cooper is going to score. Chadwick is in for a touchdown. I don't see a flag down. And Ferguson threw a beautiful, soft, looping throw, and Chadwick took it going away. A 73-yard touchdown pass.
In the face of the Lions' pass rush, the Eagles flew like so many songbirds into a cloud of DDT. As a unit, Detroit forced 4 Philadelphia turnovers, tied a team record with 11 sacks, and held the Eagles to a season low of 65 yards passing. But despite the defensive heroics, the Lions still found themselves behind by a point with 17 seconds left. Enter Eddie Murray.
17 seconds left. Eagles lead 11-10. Here's the snap. Waist down. Murray's kick is on the way. He thinks it's good, and so do the officials. And with 12 seconds to go, the Lions have taken the lead over the Eagles, 13-11. I guess it's poetic justice when all is said and done, because the Lions' defense does not deserve to lose a football game today.
A southern trip to Tampa Bay helped heat up the Lions' offense in Week 12. Joe Ferguson started and won his second straight game as Detroit rolled up 393 total yards, their highest output of the season. In the final period, head coach Darryl Rogers chose to test the Lions' most heralded rookie, their first-round pick, quarterback Chuck Long. Long had yet to see action as he spent the first 11 weeks of 1986 learning the Lions system. He apparently learned quite a bit.
Play action fake, and back goes Long. He's going deep for Leonard Thompson. He goes up, he's got it! A touchdown for Leonard Thompson, and Chuck Long on his first professional pass throws a 34-yard touchdown. How about that?
How about that?
You only get one chance to make a great first impression, and Chuck Long did just that.
Meanwhile, the Bears against the Lions. In Detroit, where outside the temperature is about 35 degrees and inside it's warm, a sellout crowd. The blackout has been lifted, and here comes Long. Chuck Long spent 5 years at the University of Iowa. He could have opted for the draft in '85, instead decided to stay in school one more season and led the Hawkeyes into the Rose Bowl. Lions on top 6-3 at the Silver Dome in Pontiac, Michigan. Al Michaels and Frank Gifford. Same site in which 84 points were scored on Thanksgiving Day when Green Bay beat Detroit 44-40. Flutie and the Bears, who've had a rocky third quarter, fumble again. Lions have it at the 5-yard line. Demetrius Johnson. Can you believe the way the Bears are playing here in the third? Thompson split left and Bland to the right. For Thompson! Touchdown!
Bestie Jackson again. Lord help him if he blows it.
Oy. Second and goal from the 4. Suey. And he's in.
That's what he wanted. I told you guys, that's what we have to do.
So the Bears on the verge of going 13-2. Peyton forming the cheering section. Fuller holding. Snap good, placement good, kick good.
Game history.
Yep, victory. Chicago having that kind of a season, 13-10, 12-10, 16-13. But the big numbers right now are 13-2.
Not a bad-looking debut by Chuck Long, the rookie quarterback. And for Doug Flutie, now it does look like he will be the man for the Bears in the playoffs. And there is Chuck Long, his first professional start, the great All-American from Iowa. And he is going to be the long-term history of quarterback, one would suspect, with Detroit.
The lone high point in the season finale against Atlanta occurred when return man Pete Mandley fielded a Falcon punt at his own 19-yard line and took it back 81 yards for the Lions' only touchdown in the 26 loss. As the curtain closed on the '86 season, the Lions improved themselves in many areas, and those who observed this team from start to finish could clearly see that the future of this team lies in its youth.
In 1987, the NFL experienced an event that would seem insane to fans today. All NFL players agreed to refuse to suit up and take the field after week 2 of the season. NFL teams found themselves with no players to take the field, and soon were hiring insurance salesmen to fill the roles of starting players.
Once again, professional athletes are preparing to perform on a picket line.
Of course, nobody wants a strike, including the players.
Everybody's going to lose if we go on strike.
No strike! No strike!
The NFL owners promise stadiums will not remain empty, even if it means replacing strikers.
Hopefully it won't come to scab games and picket signs.
The real key is going to be the solidarity of the players.
In the Detroit suburb of Pontiac, the United Auto Workers joined in picket lines, successful ones that not only kept fans away in droves, but also helped us in this case to get fans to turn their tickets back in. Police kept order and the teams arrived early, about a half an hour before pickets went up, to avoid confrontation.
Today from the Pontiac Silverdome, it's the Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. And the good news is the weather perfect indoors for today's game. The bad news is we seat 80,000 here and only 15,000 are expected. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones. This is Jimmy Cephalo, and the NFL strike is over.
Yes, it is. The regular NFL players are practicing today. Most of them are, anyway. Others will report tomorrow to get ready for next week's contest. And they've got 5 regulars who crossed the picket line this past week, beginning with Jeff Kemp, their quarterback, Steve Largent, the all-pro wide receiver.
First down at the 19-yard line. Little play-action fake. Largent touchdown. He's 2 for 2. And the Seahawks have the quick lead. Shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Largent comes underneath, and he has still another one. Breaks the tackle. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. If he can get past one man, cuts back. He goes to the 17-yard line. Steve Largent. There's Largent right behind Chick. 15 receptions, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a personal best. There's the attendance, 8,310. So they were hoping for 15. They missed it by almost 7,000. The final, once again, the Seattle Seahawks 37 and Detroit 14.
Detroit coach Darryl Rogers has received a vote of confidence from owner William Clay Ford, but the Lions have spent most of this season sleeping on the field. Last week, they were aroused at Tampa Bay. And quarterback Chuck Long continues to establish himself as one of the NFL's rising stars. Good afternoon and happy holidays, everyone. These Minnesota Vikings trying to win their 8th game of the year. It's been tough to come by, and today they play Detroit here in the Silverdome in Pontiac. Good afternoon, I'm Jack Buck, and a pleasure to work with Will McDonough of the NFL Today and the Boston Globe. Will, this season has been a shambles for the Lions, but they can have some fun today. Here's what they've had happen. Interception, another, and they're still alive on this drive, and it's 3rd and 1. With Jones and James.
Touchdown.
No. Fumble! Minnesota gets the turnover. Holy smokes. Would you believe that? So long from the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Merry Christmas. The final score, 17-14, Minnesota.
1987, even though we had a bad record, it was a productive year for us. And I'm optimistic because of that. I feel this team has a lot of talent. We just have to put it all together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and welcome to the 53rd National Football League. They'll call it the selection meeting. We call it the draft.
We're awaiting the 3rd pick in the first round already. As predicted, Andre Bruce has the signed contract. No drama there. Neil Smith taken by Kansas City. Detroit picking 3rd in the draft. They flip-flop with Kansas City. Darryl Rogers, the coach, he's got to win. He's got to win now. It's maybe a little surprising to some people he's going to be back to coach this team at the beginning of the 88 season because the Lions have not played well.
Well, they really haven't. And when you look at the Lions, they have a lot of needs. That's why Jerry, I think, was smart by moving down. When you talk about, picking up the 2nd-round choice, which is almost like a 1st-round choice, a 29th player overall. They didn't lose anything. They moved down to that 3 spot.
Detroit Lions. The Lions select in the 1st round Benny Blaze, defensive back, Miami.
And so we have defense.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
1, 2, 3. Bruce to the Falcons. Smith to the Kansas City Chiefs. Benny Blades goes to the Detroit Lions.
Chris Spielman was a combination of determination, frustration, and rage. That was evident from the day he was selected in the 2nd round of the 1988 draft.
Well, I prefer 29th pick overall, but you can go 2nd. I still don't admit it. Oh, I got problems.
Detroit's 2nd pick in last year's college draft, Chris Spielman, number 54, made a great first impression when he set a team record for tackles and was honored as the NFC's Defensive Rookie of the Year.
The Detroit Lions at home today against the Chicago Bears. And the Bears had just laid the lumber to the Bills last week. They looked like a juggernaut. You're Darryl Rogers, and we had a story about him on the pregame show. You know your team is 1-4. You know your job may be in jeopardy. Your quarterback gets hurt early, and you bring a guy into the game to try and save the game and perhaps your job, who you only met on Wednesday, Rusty Hilger. Darryl Rogers couldn't feel very good about all of this. This is what happened as the Bears and the Lions met at the Silverdome for the 108th time. And Chuck Long strained left knee on the sidelines. Rusty Hilger signed Monday, first workout Wednesday, into the breach for the Lions. And Rusty was, well, rusty. The Lions did have chances. They were trailing 17-7. But watch this shotgun. Yay! This also was not in the playbook. Al Harris recovers the football for the Bears. Darryl Rogers said, you know what, on that snap, I need Manute Bol. Let's sign him next week. As Rusty Hilger threw 43 times despite not knowing any plays. And Chicago beat Detroit 24-7.
19-year-old Kenny and his two teenage cousins were killed by a drunk driver on Woodward in Pontiac in October 1988. The man behind the wheel of the car that killed the teens was Lions' first-round draft pick Reggie Rogers. Because of more lenient laws at the time, Rogers was only sentenced to just over a year in prison.
Vikings in Lion territory again. Here's Wilson back to throw the pass, tipped in the air and grabbed off by the Lions' Jamison. And he is going to go all the way for a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
George Jamison blocked the pass and then picked it out of the air and went 50 yards to put the Lions on the board again. And how do you like that?
On November 13th, 1988, Wayne Fontes was named interim head coach of the Detroit Lions. A week later, he won his first game.
And it's all over. The Lions have beaten the Green Bay Packers 19-9, making a winner of Wayne Fontes in his first game.
It was an emotional moment for an emotional man. Then on December 22nd, Fontes was officially named head coach, an appointment well-deserved.
It was something that, it doesn't happen all the time for a team to say, this is the guy we want. And they have a great confidence in me. They believe in me. When I took over as interim coach, I changed a lot of things. A lot of things I changed was a lot of discipline. And I believe they wanted that. And I believe they feel with me as the head coach, we could turn this thing around.
All offensive coaches will add their skills to a dramatic new system created by offensive wizard Mouse Davis. Once known as the run and shoot, it has become the Silver Stretch, and its philosophy is simple.
Try to use the whole field. The concept is that we're going to stretch you vertically, we're going to stretch you horizontally, and take all the holes and gaps.
As the Detroit Lions prepare to restore the roar.
You are looking live at the Marriott Marquis Ballroom, just a couple of ticks past noon Eastern Time here in New York City as the 1989 NFL Draft is about to begin.
Surely the Green Bay Packers will make it official.
First round, tackle Tony Mandarich, Michigan State. Next up, Detroit
Lions. Was no
Lions.
doubt about that one. 4.6 speed at over 300 pounds, and the likes of which we have never seen. We are waiting on Detroit's pick. Will it be Barry Sanders? Probably should be. Tony Mandarich, the selection. Let's get to the podium.
Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions select Barry Sanders, running back of Oklahoma State. Next up, Kansas City Chiefs.
No doubt about that. Well, there was a little bit of doubt. The best Sanders available. Okay, Barry Sanders.
When Detroit took the other Sanders, I saw a big grin come across your face.
Man, I was so happy. I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would ask for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
On layaway, huh? No baseball's leverage there, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like at this time to introduce to you one of the finest running backs in the United States of America, and our number one pick, Barry Sanders.
It's really good to be here in Detroit. I feel it's a privilege to be one of the players that will help restore the roar in the Dome.
Now, as far as the Lions, they have a lot to prove to a lot of people, but they come in with a new exuberant, innovative offense. And, of course, a key man who will be part of this is signed the other day, Barry Sanders, the Heisman Trophy winner.
The chant for Barry Sanders began as the Lions left the field at halftime with only a field goal to show for their efforts. Lions fans got what they wanted in the third quarter.
Here it is.
Sanders entered the game to a loud ovation, and he immediately made his presence felt.
Goes in motion. Here's Sanders with his first carry. Listen to him.
Well, you talk about restoring the roar. Barry Sanders does it in one carry, 18-yarder.
Sanders. Touchdown!
And Sanders is in for his first touchdown. This is just beautiful to watch. Great power there. And now he knows exactly how to get into that tater.
I think he adds that's what we call it, the silver stretch. He has another dimension to this offense. He was a little tired, took a lot of licks. He's going to be a great back in this league.
It felt good to get hit. You know, I know it sounds kind of weird, you know, but haven't been hit in a long time. And I'm just doing I guess got the action in a long time, so it just felt good to be out there and competing. I felt pretty good.
Despite the lift Sanders provided, the offense still made too many mistakes. Penalties and dropped passes were the primary sins. One thing is certain, though, Sanders can have a huge impact on this offense.
Sanders. Touchdown, Detroit.
It helps being 5'7" here because you can see he's so low to the ground. Banks gets an arm on him there. He just spins right out of the tackle and takes it in.
Second down and 2. Sanders. Huge run by Barry Sanders out near midfield, breaking away from Mark Murphy.
We talked about his lower body strength, those legs. Look at these cuts he goes. All of a sudden he's going forward. Now he's going lateral.
Right now, I haven't seen a young running back as good as Barry Sanders. I've been in the league 15 years. I think Barry, in my opinion, is the finest young running back to come along in a long time. And right now, I've upset a lot of runners. I think he's the best running back that I've seen in a long time.
That's pretty strong stuff, but Sanders' performance has been tremendous. He's topped the 100-yard mark 5 times this season, and Sanders now needs only 150 yards in the Lions' final 2 games to top Billy Sims' single-season rushing record. Barry Sanders has made the Lions a much better team, and his teammates understand that.
He needs 5 to catch Billy Sims' rookie rushing Lions record. Sanders, and that'll do it. They've just broken the rookie rushing mark held by Billy Sims. There's Wayne Fonts with Billy on the sideline.
Billy Sims genuinely saying yesterday how thrilled he was to watch this guy and see him get a chance to break the record. And here's his reaction when Barry Sanders went over the mark.
By week 16, Sanders had rushed for over 1,300 yards. The NFL rushing title was a two-way race between him and Christian Okoye. The Lions were up late against the Falcons, and Sanders had been taken out of the game. But the Chiefs game had finished first, and Okoye was just 10 yards ahead of Sanders. Head coach Wayne Fonts asked Sanders if he wanted to go back in, but he refused. So Okoye was essentially handed the rushing title. But Sanders didn't care.
His senior year alone, quarterback Andre Ware passed for almost 4,700 yards and 46 touchdowns. Detroit was understandably smitten and took him 7th in 1990.
The Detroit Lions select Andre Ware, quarterback, Houston.
They're committed to the run and shoot. This is the best guy that ever ran the run and shoot.
And when he was picked by the Detroit Lions, you thought, boy, it was falling perfectly into place.
But in the NFL, Andre was overmatched. His career, 4 seasons, 14 games, 5 touchdown throws.
There are a lot of Heisman Trophy winners who did not do particularly well in the National Football League, but I can't remember one who was such an unmitigated bust.
Welcome to the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan for an important NFC Central Division battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Brown. Well, the Packers and Lions come limping into today's contest with identical 1-2 records and in must-win situations. Quarterbacking things, Rodney Peake, second-year man out of USC, had a better outing last week. And the handoff to Sanders. Sanders has the first down. Just a whole lot more. Pete throws it back to Clark again, this time touchdown Detroit.
There you see Rodney Peete leading the league in quarterback rushing. Quarterbacks take enough of a pounding in the run and shoot. Just standing back there in a 3 to 5 step drop trying to throw the ball. They get out there and start getting whacked on the run too. You better be very deep at the quarterback position.
2nd and 6. Peete with plenty of time. Has open field to run it. Touchdown, Detroit. Rodney Peete. Complete to Jeff Query. Touchdown, Green Bay. This will be a 40, call it a 44-yard.
Critical snap.
It's up. And it's no good. So Eddie Murray misses his 4th field goal this afternoon with 3 seconds remaining. So a career lowlight for Eddie Murray, who misses a career high of 4 field goals in one game.
2nd and 5. Here's the inside give to Sanders. Broke a tackle, heads to the corner. Touchdown. Sets his troops at the 47. Galeano throws short, screen to Sanders. Look out. Barry Sanders, and he might go. Touchdown, Detroit.
2nd and 10. Sanders. First down. Headed for pay dirt. Touchdown, Detroit.
The Lions saved their best for Thanksgiving Day for a national television audience and for the defending AFC champion Denver Broncos. Detroit erupted for 27 first-half points, and Barry Sanders burst out of the blocks for the first of his game-high 147 yards rushing.
Option play, pitch out, Barry, near side 5, touchdown!
While the offense was piling up points, the defense was ganging up on the Broncos. The Lions blitzed Denver quarterback John Elway for 3 sacks and an interception and smothered the Broncos' ground game, allowing them just 73 yards.
He's blitzing. Here he comes. Steps into Barry at the 35. 40. Barry to the 25, 20. He's to the near side, 15, 10. He's to the...
Barry Sanders personally accounted for 12 Lions points, as did kicker Eddie Murray. Sidelined with a hip injury, Murray saw his first action since Week 5. Number 3 was a perfect 4 for 4, and his final field goal ended the scoring with the Lions as big winners, 40-27.
Here's Pete back to throw. He hands off to Sanders. Gets outside to the 30. 25, 20. Spins to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Barry Sanders. A 35-yard run, and it was brilliant. What a sight.
Barry's my new idol now. I love the way the guy runs. When I grow up, I want to run just like him.
From the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington, the final regular season game of 1990, the Detroit Lions against the Seattle Seahawks. Thurman Thomas had an ineffective day today in Buffalo's game at Washington. 5 carries for 1 yard. So if Barry Sanders can get 18 yards in this ball game, he will earn the rushing title in 1990. Detroit has not had much success on the road against the AFC. The only win came in Kansas City in 1988. See in the locker room. 2nd down and 5. Rodney Peete, draw play Sanders. On a searching mission, breaks a tackle, touchdown. A gain of 16, and with that, Barry Sanders has assumed the NFL rushing leadership.
And you knew it was just a matter of time. You're going to maybe control Barry Sanders a little, but you're not going to stop him. And when a guy can make runs like this and moves like this is why he's the best running back in football. There's a move, there's a move, there's a move. He'll make about 8 or 9 moves on that. He'll make 6 or 7 guys miss and run through the rest. I think sometimes you just have to look at something and just enjoy it. I mean, there's no one else in football that can make these moves. And this run is, a touchdown run, and the moves that he makes and the way that he runs, it's just an art form.
Barry Sanders over 1,300 yards. He has assumed the lead in the NFL on this final day of the regular season.
Here's Andre Ware warming up. When we talked to Wayne Fonts last night, he said that Andre Ware might play somewhere in the game. He didn't want to say, if we're way ahead or if we're way behind, or if you're losing lots of dice.
Andre Ware. Couldn't move. The fine block by Wilder. And Andre Ware with the first down at the 16. Wayne Fonts, Chuck Knox at midfield. Our final again, 30-10.
I was at the draft meeting the Lions held Tuesday. Ron Hughes, president of player personnel, spoke. I think he likes Kelvin Pritchett from Mississippi. The Lions have been looking for years for the guy that can rush from the outside. Pritchett might be their guy. If they go on offense, I think Wayne Fonts likes Herman Moore. I like Herman Moore for one reason. He can give them three things in one pick. He's going to help the receiving corps. Now that Miles Davis left, they're looking for a little bigger receiver. He can help the quarterbacks. Both Rodney Peete and Andre Ware will love Herman Moore. And he's going to help Barry Sanders. All three picks, three things in one pick. So look for Herman Moore, Kelvin Pritchett possibly. Chris?
We're getting set for the 10th selection, which has been mostly defense thus far. Yet to have a skill position, running back, quarterback, wide receiver. I got to believe it's Herman Moore. Here it is.
The Detroit Lions select Herman Moore, wide receiver, Virginia.
We understand that the Cowboys, we finally got their third pick there, Kelvin Pritchett, but now we have word that maybe they're trading him. Let's go to the podium and find out what's happening. Either the Chiefs or the Cowboys.
I have a trade to announce regarding the Cowboys' selection of Kelvin Pritchett. Dallas has traded the rights to negotiate with Kelvin Pritchett to the Detroit Lions. In return, Dallas receives 3 selections in today's draft. Detroit's second-round pick, Detroit's third-round pick, and Miami's fourth-round pick, which Detroit had previously acquired from Miami.
So the Detroit Lions essentially now, with a pair of first-round picks, you just heard them describe, Herman Moore, Kelvin Pritchett.
But when the Lions got to training camp, holdouts were a big story. Top draft pick Herman Moore, running back Barry Sanders, and offensive tackle Lomas Brown were all in contract disputes.
I want to coach the guys that are here. And the guys that are here will work very hard, and those are the guys we'll work with.
And there was a quarterback battle.
After earning the starting job last season, at least on paper, Rodney Peete should be the #1 guy this time around. Does Wayne Fonts see it that way?
It's Rodney Peete's job to lose, and our quarterbacks understand it.
It feels a lot more comfortable, when going into training camp, knowing that you're the guy and it's your job, so you can kind of relax a little bit.
As the Lions got set to start the season in Washington, they seemed ready. Instead, the Lions got trucked in the opener, 45-0.
The mark of a good team or a good program is one that can bounce back.
2nd and 2 from the 4. Sanders. Touchdown!
Welcome back, Barry. He had 1, 2, 3 Packers miss. Everybody had clean shots at him, but because he's so elusive and has the ability to burst and break stride so quickly, he wound up with 3 misses. What a run.
And down the line, handoff. Barry spins away from one tackle, cuts back to the left side. He's to the 20, he's to the 15, 10, he's to the 5. Barry Sanders, a spectacular touchdown run.
Tim, the only thing I can say is if you hadn't seen it, you wouldn't believe it. And I can't do a replay on this because you just have to watch it, folks. This is a work of art.
And boy, did the Lions bounce back. They went on to win the next 5 games in a row and hit the bye week with a 5-1 record.
A rookie from Purdue, number 76. And Sanders will score. First down and more. Look out. Touchdown, Detroit.
Gotta believe in us, baby. That's what we're talking about. We believe, baby. It don't matter about none of that other
Unfortunately, the Lions came out of their bye week and lost 3 of their next 4 games. Not only that, they lost their starting quarterback, Rodney Peete, for the season with an Achilles injury.
Mike Hudling is down for the Lions.
We didn't know what was going on.
all we knew was that, it was taking the doctors a long time. They were just over Mike, and then you start seeing more and more medical personnel come. Then Mike got paralyzed in the Rams game in 1991.
That Mike, when he was being carted off the field, gave for people in Detroit, the famous thumbs up. And I think that selfless act kind of helped our team say, okay, well, he's going to be okay, not knowing the extent of the injury.
No score inside 8 minutes. 1st and 10 Lions at the Vikings 17. And Kramer draw to Berry, cuts it back to the right. He's to the 15. Berry to the 10, breaks a tackle 5, and he will take it in. Touchdown, Lions. Barry Sanders broke a tackle of Felix right at the 10-yard line and took it in. His 10th rushing touchdown of the year. And a draw to Berry, 45-40, breaks through 30, 20, Berry's gone. It's a touchdown, Lions. Barry Sanders on a draw, 45 yards and a touchdown.
This is Barry Sanders. Touchdown, Detroit. 3rd touchdown of the afternoon for Barry Sanders. And Wayne Fonts must have heard you before about how in the world can he not run Sanders from that close.
We have a running game against that tough a defense.
1st and 10 from the 41. Sanders blasting out. And juking his way inside the 15, tackled by Ray Berry.
Just unbelievable how he gets through these areas. Where he sees this daylight, look at him, he froze Felix Wright. This guy is incredible. You're watching something very special here today, folks. And this is about to squash some comeback hopes of the Minnesota Vikings.
3rd and 5. Sanders, guess what? Touchdown, Lions. 4 touchdowns on the afternoon for Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, first Lion to run for 4 touchdowns in the game. What an afternoon for Barry Sanders.
Wins over the Rams, and the Vikings set up a Thanksgiving Day showdown against Jim Harbaugh and the Chicago Bears.
Attention fans, please direct your attention to midfield.
Mike, we know you're listening. On behalf of your teammates, the fans, and the players, and the coaches, we want you to know that you are as big a part of this team today as you have ever been, and that you will always be a part of this team. Thanks for your courage, your inspiration, and your strength. We're all praying for you. We're all pulling for you. So keep the faith. We love you. And thumbs up, Mike. We love you.
If he can stay optimistic about it, I mean, why can't we?
Sanders is in for the touchdown. On the draw, it is Sanders. Barry Sanders going all the way.
And with the win over the Packers, Detroit clinched a playoff berth.
Trying to tie this game up. Kramer. The Berry spins free. Touchdown, Lions.
Wow.
Owens again. And Sanders spins and touchdown, Detroit. Talk about a neat spin move.
And then on the final Sunday of the regular season, the Lions beat the Bills in overtime, winning the NFC Central Division.
This is probably one of the great wins of Detroit Lion history. I'm not stepping on any toes when I say that, but for this football team, Buffalo talked about having 4 or 2 or 3 guys out. We played today without seven starters, and for this team to take up that level and to focus and win a game that no one gave a chance to win, I'm very, very proud of this football team.
And with that, a home playoff game. Bedlam outside of the Silverdome box office. Thousands of fans showing up to get their tickets.
What you got in the first or second row? You got 106 and 107? Come on, man, you have to get more tickets. Come on, hurry up. You got what's in the 107? What row?
It's great for me, it's for the team, and for the whole city.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pontiac Silverdome. There is certainly electricity in the air. It's a lot different than the regular season.
The NFC Divisional Playoff game, the Lions and the Cowboys.
Tell you, this is one fired-up Detroit Lions football team.
And one fired-up stadium to go with it.
And the two are helping each other. The two are feeding off each other.
Cowboys will have the first crack at the ball. Eddie Murray will kick it off to Alexander Wright, and he can burn it. This now is what it is all about. First down, Detroit at the Dallas 44. And Kramer again will test him. He does. Successfully, a gain of 12, Willie Green.
And you know what this is doing? This is not only moving the ball down the field and giving confidence to this Detroit team, but it's going to loosen up that Dallas defense, because Jimmy Johnson told us last night Barry Sanders is not going to beat us. If they're going to beat us, Eric Kramer is going to do it.
No flag. Kramer. Touchdown. Willie Green from Kramer. From 31 yards out, Ray Horton got spun around. So did Green, but Green made the catch.
Well, you know, it's tough to stop these Cowboys because in Emmitt Smith, you have the leading rusher in the NFL, and then you have Michael Irvin, who's a leading pass receiver. So someplace you're going to have to give them something. Steve Berline is going to be out there, and he always looks for Michael Irvin. He doesn't care where he is. In fact, the first day he reported to the Cowboys, he told Steve Berline, he said, look, there's only one rule here. Michael Irvin, he said, that's throw to me.
Well, he's back again. Let's see where he goes. Pass is picked off. He went in the wrong direction. Going to be a touchdown, Detroit. Melvin Jenkins from 41 yards away. Green has 5 catches for 71 yards. First and 10 Detroit. They lead 14-6 already. Cowboys showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Kramer, pass caught by Farr. First down, Lions. Timeout, Lions. 20-yard gain.
They probably decided that they were going to play Aikman in the second half. So if you're going to play him in the second half, I think this is a pretty good move. I don't know if taking Berline out is a move or not, but if you decided you're going to play him in the second half, let him get a little feel now. Maybe he can get some life in this team before halftime, but let him get in the game a little.
Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts left. 14 seconds remain. Aikman, the quarterback. And back to throw. And down he goes. By Jeff Hunter from the outside. Right around Tooney. That's the end of the first half. With the score, Detroit 17, Dallas 6. First down, Detroit at their own 9. Here's Kramer. Pass is caught, and this could be gone. Herman Moore made the catch, almost broke it. Got outside the 40 to about the 41, a gain of 33 yards. Cowboys ball 17-6. Detroit leads, 8:47 left, third quarter. Aikman, the quarterback. And back to throw, the blitz coming, and down he goes. Dan Owens came clean.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he's had every practice. He's out there in the field. He's working with the guys, and he's become a big, big cheerleader.
Touchdown. Willie Green. From 9 yards out. The Coach of the Year, and he's done another excellent job today. Wayne Funds.
This is an amazing job they've done here. Amazing. He got behind Larry Brown. Kramer hit him on a perfect pass.
Kramer is 26 out of 33. 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10, Cowboys. A stumble and fumble, and Detroit has the ball. Kramer to throw. He gets away from the blitz. Has a man. The pass is complete inside the 10 is Willie Green. 1st and goal from there. Brown and Horton made the stop with a pickup of 20.
You see who made the big block, though? It was Barry Sanders. He's not known to be a blocker. That's a tough thing about it. You know, I mean, all these teams get into playoffs, and every one of them is going to lose their last game except the team that wins the Super Bowl.
3rd down, touchdown. Herman Moore. The Lions 31. Cowboys 6. 14 seconds left, 3rd quarter.
Who would have thought at the beginning of this season, who would have thought that this guy would be the quarterback? Who would have thought that he would have this kind of day in a playoff game?
He just cut him apart. 2nd and 6. Sack on Aikman. Hayward. When you get it, the score 31-6.
Yeah, but if people had to make up signs like that, I mean, they ought to just, go to their homes and read
Sanders
books.
still on his feet, and Sanders is gone. Six Cowboys missed him.
Got it away to Barry off the right. Barry to the 45 and bumps to the 40, breaks it 35, 30. He's gone! Unbelievable! Touchdown, Lions, Barry Sanders. Oh my gosh, what a run. Hey, wow. I tell you what, every time we talk about Barry, we say that's the greatest run, that's the greatest run. That might have been the greatest run. That was unbelievable.
Well, it's just a matter of time before everyone on this team is going to be heard from. You think you got him tackled? I mean, that's by keeping your feet going and making Sanders move. Some of those moves, there's only one guy in this game that makes, and you just saw that guy.
Detroit 38-6. What a remarkable run.
The Lions are starting their celebration over on this sideline.
Detroit wins it 38-6. They go to play the Redskins next week.
What a great win. No one gave us a chance to win this football game but this football team. We had so many guys hurt. They did a great job, and I'm so proud of this team and my owner, Mr. Ford, for believing in our program.
Anytime you win, it's great. But to do it in the face of what they had to do is just incredible.
Following their victory over the Cowboys in the 1991 playoffs, Barry Sanders and the Lions were on the brink of Detroit's first ever Super Bowl appearance.
So it was on to Washington for the NFC Championship game, where Detroit's season ended almost exactly as it began. The Redskins routed the Lions. 41-10 was the final.
See the shot of Barry Sanders sitting there. That's a shot of a competitor. Something bad has happened to him, and he can't do anything about it.
The NFL Draft in New York, the 57th annual selection meeting of the National Football League. Thanks to our friend Phil Collins, there is no jacket required for the guys that are about to become members in the National Football League. Inside at the Marriott Marquis, we're ready to rock.
The Detroit Lions select Robert Porcher, defensive end, South Carolina State.
Now, he is an intriguing player. Robert Porsche from South Carolina State.
Like I said, really, Chris, if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, he's my pick in the first round. Now he slides down to Detroit, a team that desperately needed somebody to get heat on the quarterback after they lost out on Swilling and really opted not to pursue Cornelius Bennett. So I think a fine pick for the Lions.
Repeating as champions is the toughest test in sports. And in 1992, Wayne Font's Lions were tested as never before. A record number of injuries, the division's toughest schedule, and off-the-field tragedies proved to be too much to overcome.
He will take it.
The season opener in Chicago set the tone for the season.
And here comes a blitz by Singletary, and they answer it with Barry Sanders. 8 coming from the Bears' 43-yard line. And it's Barry Sanders trying to take advantage of a slight opening, and he breaks it, and he'll go all the way. Touchdown, Detroit.
Barry again off the right side, breaks one tackle to the 40, fights free! He's on his way! 25, 20, 15, 10, and he scores! Unbelievable! 43-yard run, he was tied up twice, and he just kept pounding those legs, and he scores, and the Lions have the lead.
Barry Sanders was tackled at least by 3 or 4 gentlemen on this play. Morrissey's got a shot, Roper's got a shot, Singletary's got a shot, and now you can just forget it.
But the Bears clawed back to win on a 4th down touchdown pass with 1 second to play.
The toss. The Bears are going to win it.
The Lions went on to lose 6 games by 6 points or less, 3 of them in the last minute of play. In the 1992 home opener, the Lions pulled a rare triple play as the offense, defense, and special teams all scored touchdowns in the 31-17 win over Minnesota.
To midfield. 45 got it, blocked to the 40, off to the races, 30. Cut near side 20, Mel to the 15, weaving his way to the end zone, touchdown Lions. Oh my, Mel Gray goes 55 yards for the touchdown. 11, far side, Mel to the 20, Mel to the 25, 30, Mel 35, 40, off to the races. Oh my! Unbelievable! 89 yards! Mel Gray does it again!
A special Thursday night edition of NFL football on TNT. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Bender. Tonight's game really features a matchup of 2 of the most surprising teams in the NFL. Last year, the Detroit Lions won a franchise record 12 games, made it to the playoffs for the 2nd time in 21 years. This year, their Central Division rivals, the Minnesota Vikings, have really staked claim to being the surprise team of 92. They're on top of the NFC Central with a 4-1 record. Meanwhile, the Lions have gone to 1-4. They're last in the black and blue division. Play action by Gannon. Gannon going deep. Anthony Carter's there. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Anthony Carter is still one of the extraordinary athletes in the National Football League.
Moving delayed handoff to Barry. He's to the 5, and Sanders will get it in anyway.
Jack Del Rio, the middle linebacker, was coming in right there to put the stop on him. Barry Sanders can make a linebacker miss at a telephone booth, and he did it right there. He runs sideways just as fast as he runs forward.
And Wayne Fonts and his team is now 1-5. Dennis Green still firmly entrenched in first place in the NFC Central. They go to 5-1, and they have won 4 games in a row. Stay tuned now as we'll have a Holiday Inn post-game show coming up soon.
Barry will reverse his field. What a move! Brett Perriman threw a block and 19 yards for Barry Sanders.
You know, the thing about this play, that was a play that should have been thrown for a loss, and he stretched the loss into about a 20-yard gain.
2nd and 1. Bouncing outside, Sanders. Foot race time for Barry Sanders. And forget it, touchdown. Touchdown, Barry Sanders from 55 yards.
Boy, you talk about a fantastic run. You talk about balance. You talk about power. You talk about determination. It should have been a loss or maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. You stretch that 2 or 3 yard gain into a touchdown.
The snapper is Frank Winters. Good snap from center. Here's the kick. He blocked it. Then he Blades. Blades at the 10. Blades, touchdown.
At Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, receiver Willie Green and the Lions gave the playoff-bound Steelers a scare before losing by 3 points with less than 3 minutes to play.
Far side 40, cuts inside 30, and is going to be breaking a tackle at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown Lions! Wow, Willie Green!
10-year man out of Brick, number 63. Sanders rips through a hole. Sanders on the way to the end zone. Johnson, the only man with a chance. 10-7 Pittsburgh as we begin the fourth quarter. Sanders. Touchdown, Detroit. CBS Sports welcomes you to the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati, where this afternoon at sold-out Riverfront Stadium, the Bengals host the Detroit Lions. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough, along with John Robinson, and it's great to have you with us.
If they are to win today, Boomer Esiason has to have a good day. His passing percentages fell way off last week.
Seventh play of the drive. It began at Detroit's 35. Sanders, how about this run? Barry Sanders gets a block from Perryman and goes out of bounds near the 10-yard line. He should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, and perhaps only Barry Sanders among all backs in the NFL turns it into the big gainer.
We get a chance to see that.
Sanders through a big hole. He's at the 20, 131 yards rushing for Sanders. They give it to him again. Around the corner, touchdown. Barry Sanders today, 151 yards rushing, the best game of his season. And Eric Kramer was 12 for 25 for 141 yards. Barry, what was the key to your big afternoon?
Well, I felt we kept them off balance, especially in the first half. We did a great job of run blocking. The guys really dug down, created some holes, and fortunately I was able to find them.
The snow didn't seem to bother the Packers' offense on December 6, 1992 as they routed the Detroit Lions. The Packers scored 35 points in the first half alone. Brett Favre threw for 3 touchdowns in the game, 2 of them to wide receiver Sterling Sharp. The defense contributed as well, as linebacker Tony Bennett returned to fumble recover 18 yards for the score. The Packers won 38-10.
And here is Sanders on the draw, straight shot touchdown. Nobody's there.
The next week against Chicago, Herman Moore provided the magic.
Andre Ware rolls right, pumps once, and goes long. Herman Moore at the 40, and he's got it! Oh,
And rookie kicker Jason Hansen kicked 3 field goals to fuel a 16-3 win as the Lions finished strong again, winning 2 of their last 3 games.
He has time to throw, and a man wide open, Barry Sanders. One man to beat, it's Carrier who saved the touchdown at the 33-yard line.
Hansen and punter Jim Arnold give the Lions one of the premier kicking tandems in the NFL. Both Pro Football Weekly and the Football News named Hansen their Offensive Rookie of the Year, making him the 4th Lion to win that award.
Couldn't be happier. As you know, we said at the end of last year we were going to do the best we could to improve ourselves on both sides of the ball.
First of all, to the Detroit organization, I'm very glad to be here. Very glad to be here in Detroit and be a part of this team. I just felt like this organization is moving in a new direction. It's moving where this team wants to win. They're making the moves that shows that they're going to try to put a winning football team on the field. And I want to be a part of a winner. So
I think it's about time we dust off the old number and bring it out of retirement and put it back into action. I'd just like to pass 56 on to him. I'm sure he's going to wear it with pride and dignity and help bring back the championship here to Detroit.
I feel very, very honored. But I'd like to reiterate one thing. This is his number, and it always will be his number. I'm just borrowing it for a little while, and when it's over, you can have it back. But thank you again.
Opening day, 1993. The first opportunity to prove that the injury-riddled 1992 season was not an accurate measure of this team's character and resolve. An attacking Detroit defense set the tone, turning in 6 sacks and forcing 4 Atlanta turnovers. Herman Moore's first touchdown of the year, plus 3 Jason Hansen field goals, led to the Lions' first opening day win in 5 years, 30-13. Next, the Lions traveled to New England to meet the new and improved Patriots. And just 11 seconds into the game, the Lions special teams turned in the quickest score in team history.
It's a good foot into this one. Brown 2 yards deep coming out. A fumble. That ball popped out, picked up by the Lions' Willie Clay, and he scores. Touchdown, Lions.
And Sanders somehow escapes and runs for the first down and a lot more. Barry Sanders.
To try to win it in overtime for the Lions. The kick is up. The kick is good. The Lions win it. And oh my, what a game. What a football game.
Second and 10. Blade handoff to Sanders. Sanders juking. Has the first down, and guess what? Has the touchdown already.
Got to keep the hands in the ball in the hands of this guy, Barry Sanders.
Absolutely. Look at him. Barry Sanders. Dangerous every time he touches the ball. Finally knocked out of bounds.
Hot this half. 7 of 8. Sanders jumps outside. Touchdown.
Boy, that's vintage Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders' 59th career touchdown earned Detroit a 13-0 lead. But after the Rams came back to tie in the final period, the Lions were forced to drive for the winning score in the final seconds, and they did.
Holman caught at the 1-yard line. 18-yard field goal try by Jason Hansen to win the game here in Anaheim. Snap, kick, up, good! And the Lions, with 4 seconds to go, have a 16-13.
The Lions got a bit of a scare in L.A. To clinch the NFC Central Division Championship and home field advantage in the playoffs, they had to win their final 2 games of the season, beginning at Soldier Field in Chicago. And with just over 3 minutes to play, the Lions looked to a rookie linebacker turned tight end from Michigan State, Ty Halleck.
Fake, looking, end zone, touchdown, Ty Halleck.
After the 20-14 comeback win, the Lions were prepared to face the Packers in a winner-take-all finale for the NFC Central Division Championship. On the final regular season Sunday, a sellout crowd arrived to see their Lions deliver a division title.
Welcome to the Pontiac Silverdome, where the Detroit Lions can clinch a Central Division title with a victory over the Green Bay Packers. The Lions control their own destiny. They have been in first place all season long, and by the time this game's over, they hope to remain there.
We win this one, we champs, all right? Champs on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Down by 4 points in the final period, the Lions showed their character and resolve by coming from behind to win for the 5th time in 1993. Still on the offensive, the Lions stretched their lead to 10 points.
Throw, fires out, tight end, Holman, touchdown Lions! Rodney Holman on the far side, wide open.
All further attempts by the Packers to get back in the game were thwarted by an aroused Lions defense.
Drops back to throw, in trouble, falls down, lets it go, intercepted!
Did it. One division.
The 30-20 win clinched the Lions' 2nd division title in 3 years.
We're kind of like Ronnie Dangerfield in the National Football League. You guys shook it all off, played your hind end off, and won with a lot of class. If this doesn't get you guys something that this team would love to have, and that's just respect, I tell you what, if we don't get that, fine. We've won the NFC Championship for the 2nd time in 3 years.
For the 2nd week in a row, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers meet, but this time in the playoffs. From the 49, Barry Sanders cut back over the middle of midfield. Right side 45, Barry in the open 35-30.
Once he's into the secondary, one-on-one with DBs, it's over.
Favre back to throw. Favre looks over the middle. Touchdown to Sterling Sharp.
For the Lions, Holman again over. And it's Sanders looking for daylight. Sanders gets the corner. Barry Sanders explodes. Finally caught from behind by Buckley.
Just a bit of a hesitation, and he set up a block. And once he saw the crease mark, he absolutely exploded through it.
And here's Kramer to the sidelines. Touchdown, Perriman, one-handed catch. Brett Perriman with a one-handed grab for the Detroit Lions.
Tight end stays on the move lot. Leads for Barry Sanders. Crease. Sanders cut back.
Here's Brett Favre back in the end zone. Brett steps up, field intercepted, picked off, and it's going to be a touchdown, Jenkins.
Here's
Here's Favre on second down, straight back in the pocket. Favre looking, stepping up over the middle. Touchdown! Sterling Sharp! What a catch by Sterling Sharp in front of Harry Colin. Back to pass, and in the middle it is intercepted. It might go all the way for the Packers. Down the sideline to George Teague.
All right,
Teague
George.
at the midfield stripe. Teague at the 40. Teague is on his way. He's at the 20. Teague for a touchdown.
They run the draw with Sanders. Big hole left side. Slips a tackle, gets past Teague. First down, Detroit.
Here's the ride and the handoff to Derek Moore. Touchdown. Derek Moore on the hard drive, and he gets the touchdown, and the Lions have regained the lead. Favre looking, now Favre running. Come on, run it. He's going to throw it to the end zone. He's open. Sharp. Wide open. Touchdown. Sterling Sharp. Wide open. He got away and scored the touchdown with 55 seconds left.